6 Central on News Nation.
Earlier this hour, we had an in-depth 18-minute interview with the top prosecutor here in Chicago, Kim FOXX. In that wide-ranging interview, we discussed everything from crime to community to policing and responsibility. It's no secret she and the police union chief are, shall we say, at odds on a few issues. Here's what she had to say about him in response to his comment about a cop killing earlier this week.
John Catanzara doesn't represent the voices of the rank and file. What I can tell you, and I don't think many people take him seriously, what I can tell you is that when I came into office, we know that we have to work with police. They're on every single case that we have. They're a witness in everything that we do. I need them to be credible and legitimate. You started this segment talking about the trust that we have in our communities that have been broken. That trust between law enforcement and community matters. We need people who trust the system to come in and testify in court, to be able to cooperate, to be able to identify someone who's harmed them. If we don't acknowledge the harm and that breach of trust, and if we don't hold people accountable, we're not going to keep communities safe.
Joining us now, John Katana Jr., the president of the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police. Good to see you, sir. She did everything other than call you a racist by name.
No, she pretty much did that too, Leland. I'm not surprised. It's the usual go-to line for a lot of politicians in Chicago, Cook County, and Illinois.
So does she have something to stand on, or she just hates you because you're speaking the truth?
Listen, well, it's definitely because I'm speaking the truth. And, you know, you called her the top prosecutor. Kim FOXX has never tried a murder case. She wouldn't even know the inside of a courtroom if she fell into it. She's just a political hack who literally uses race to get reelected. She has no competency whatsoever. She talks about my discipline. She has a charge against her at the ARDC for her Jesse Smollett fiasco that got squashed. It doesn't even exist anymore, mysteriously. And I know that for a fact because I'm the one that filed it over 3 years ago. But here we are with no result on Kim FOXX. I don't even take her seriously. She talks about race. The only reason Kim FOXX is in office again is because the most violent neighborhoods in this city voted her back into office because she said, oh my God, I'm getting picked on because I'm a poor black woman and that mean white guy wants to take me out of office. That's just the reality, even though Judge OBrien had the best resume of any Cook County State's attorney candidate ever, and I mean ever.
I think reasonable people could agree that she had a tough struggle growing up and then grew up to become prosecutor, duly elected. You're elected as the president of the FOP. We'll take you both for what you are and for who you've been elected by. What I thought was interesting is how does this House of law enforcement stand and protect all of us, citizens of Chicago, when it's so divided? And if we zoom out, how does the House of law enforcement that seems divided in D.C., in St. Louis, in Oakland, how does it protect everybody?
Well, that is the unique dynamic here. And I will say specific to Chicago, one of her comments couldn't be farther from the truth. She says, I don't have the support in the rank and file. I won this election a year and a half ago with about 60% of the vote. I can guarantee you if that election was held again today, it'd be 80% or more. The support within this lodge from my membership for what we are trying to do and the voice we're trying to give our membership is stronger than it's ever been before because the department, as I highlighted already, not one single exempt rank member showed up to those bond hearings yesterday, including the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. I guess they really don't give a damn at the end of the day when a law enforcement officer gets killed in a line of duty. There's no other explanation for it. It is an absolute dereliction of their duty.
Well, actions, to your point, speak a lot louder than words, and we saw the actions of your officers. I don't think it was planned, who all turned their backs on Lori Lightfoot when she showed up at the hospital. That's the mayor here in Chicago, showed up to the hospital where one officer who had died was and another officer who's fighting for his life is. She tried to meet with the officers and the family, and they clearly weren't having any of that. If you listen to Kim FOXX, which we did for 18 minutes, she seems to say that she wants to focus on violent crime and lock up all the people with guns. We kept asking her how that's working out. She didn't really have an answer.
It's just not true. I'll give you a perfect example of how much that's BS. Just not even 10 days ago, in one of the most violent neighborhoods in this city, officers witnessed somebody firing a weapon. They heard the gunshot. They seen the muzzle flash. Even though they didn't actually see the weapon, they could see the muzzle flash. They pursued the offender who lost one of his shoes. They ended up catching him, which is a whole nother joke with the no chase policy that this city now has enacted. But anyway, they did recover the weapon. The offender didn't have a shoe and it matched the missing shoe that was left at the original scene. That subject was taken into the station and it was presented to the state's attorney's office for felony approval. They basically released him without charging, pending gunshot residue tests, because the officers said they didn't actually see the weapon itself when it was being fired, just the muzzle flash. That's the kind of backwards logic her office is presenting. She has had an exodus within her office that is nobody wants to work for anymore except the lackeys that told the company line. But the actual line prosecutors, they want to get out as fast as they can. They have no confidence in what she's doing or even what's going on in the courts there.
It brings up an interesting question, because much of her platform, and it seemed as though during the interview, so much of what she was worried about was police accountability and saying that Chicago had a police accountability problem. She kept saying that I dismiss cases because we don't have a good enough case. And I guess what you're saying is she dismisses cases because she doesn't care. She doesn't want to prosecute. I'm trying to get to what you believe her motive is. Listen,
she was one of the biggest proponents of our nightmare lame duck session in January that produced a nightmare supposed justice reform bill. The bail reforms provision in that bill specifically are going to get worse as the years progress here. It has an enactment date that starts in January and gets even worse as it goes forward the next 2 years, where pretty much everybody's going to get out with no bail unless the judge says otherwise. And every time they appear in front of a judge, that judge has to give a very definitive reason why he's going to hold them without a bail.
Yeah,
otherwise, they're going to be out on the street.
And evidently, the person who bought the gun, who killed Ella French, we understand is out on $4,500 worth of bail, or perhaps even his own signature. We're still trying to track that down. But this brings up a big question here. The people who are the real losers are the people who Kim Foxx says that she wants to help, which is the minorities in the poorer neighborhoods of Chicago who now can't sit on their front stoop without getting potentially shot every night in drive-by shootings. Mass shootings is what they're called now. It doesn't seem as though there's any hope or any way forward if you two continue to be at odds.
Well, I can tell you the way forward is the elections in 22 and 23, specifically when it comes to city
she won
council.
re-election the last time.
Well, she did. That's great. This time. But I can tell you, there's statewide elections in 22 and there's municipal elections in 23. This lodge specifically has redesigned everything it's planned on doing going forward and having a PAC fund that is quite different than anything the FOP has ever done before. We are coming for these politicians and taking their seats and getting some civility and sanity back to civilized society, because Ella French died trying to protect the very neighborhoods that Kim Foxx has littered with criminals because she feels it's the right human thing to do.
John, we really appreciate your time. I know you rushed back from an event to be able to do this, but we thought it was important for you to hear what Kim Foxx had to say and then for you to be able to respond to it as well. We appreciate having you on. You're welcome back anytime. Something tells me that the issues here aren't going away, sadly.
They certainly aren't, Leland, but thanks for the time.
All right, we'll be right back.
Have a good night.
Sam. Welcome